I want to thank the chairman for that fantastic introduction and welcome from all of you. I'm pleased to be here today with another public servant. I admire Tammy Baldwin. In the 2 years since Tammy made history by becoming the first woman elected to Congress from Wisconsin and the first openly gay non-incumbent elected to the House, she has become a strong advocate for making health care available for all Americans. And I want to thank Tammy. More low-income women can be screened for breast and cervical cancer, and more veterans with vision problems can be treated because of her work, and people suffering from paralysis have more reasons to hope for a cure, all because of the work that Tammy has done, and I want to thank her. I also want to thank two people who are leading the fight for equality, who I believe are here. I just walked in, so I'm still figuring out who's here. Joe Solomon. Thank you for your work. Chuck Wolf from the Gay You and your thousands of supporters across the country are working to make our nation a place where everyone gets a shot, regardless of their sexual orientation. So thank you for your vision. Thank you for your leadership. It is setting the tone for what we're doing here this week, and it means so much to me and to Barack. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you during this exciting week. Celebrating this wonderful party, our country, and the better future that we can build together. A future where we strengthen the middle class, and we protect our families, and we restore a sense of fairness and opportunity for every single American in this country. And I'm particularly glad to be here on a week that commemorates some of the great strides our nation has made toward equality and justice. As you know, I mentioned this in my speech 88 years ago today, the 19th Amendment became law. The right to vote is the smartest move we made in this country. And Thursday will be the 45th anniversary of when Martin Luther King stood up in front of the Lincoln Memorial and told this world about his dream for America just 45 years ago. And we all know that our country's journey toward equality is not finished yet. We know it right here in this room. It's been 5 years since Lawrence versus Texas and 39 years since Stonewall, but still, we've got work to do before we achieve equality.
What was that?
Even though we have a lot of work to do this week, we are going to celebrate just how far we've come. And how deep our shared capacity is to break through any barriers that stand in our way to the progress of this nation. And hasn't this been just an amazing year? Or 19 months This decade of 2008 has just been amazing. It's been extraordinary to see our country and this party grow. We have seen people who have never talked about politics before, ever. Not just knocking on doors, but they're voting for the first time. I can't tell you how many people I talked to who have said, this is the first time in my life I cast a vote. And they're writing checks and they're knocking on doors because they're all hungry for the change that we need right now. They see it. And Hillary Clinton's historic candidacy banished forever that notion that a woman cannot be president. You know, on. They're cute. And because of the work this year that Senator Clinton has done and the millions of supporters, little girls like mine, and all these little girls around the country can dream a little bigger. They can think about their sights, who they will be, who they'll become has changed forever, thanks to this year. We're going to make history again by nominating this guy that I'm married to, Barack Obama, to be the next president. Ready to go. As you can imagine, I'm here today as a very proud spouse who believes that I know Barack is going to be an extraordinary president. I know that in every fiber of my body. And I'm here as an American who loves her country. And I know in my heart, not just what I've seen through my own life journey, but what I've seen over this last 19 months, that we can overcome in this nation any challenge that we face. But most of all, I'm here as a mother. No matter how many titles or caricatures they make, I am a mom first. That's who Michelle Obama really is. And our girls, I talk about this, are the first thing I think about every day. Whenever I'm on the campaign trail and working a road line and I see the face of some child out there, I think about our girls. So for me, the issues that we're facing in this election this year, issues of education, a better economy, national security, health care, the environment, these aren't political issues for me and for many of us. This is all personal. It is all very personal. And that's why I believe that Barack will be an outstanding president, because he gets it. He understands the challenges that people across the country are facing every day, and those challenges are very real. And he's been working his whole career to help take that load off of regular folks, and to help them build better lives and have a fair shot, and to be able to offer a future to their children and to their grandchildren. And last night I told you the story of how Barack and I first got to know each other. When we went to his work at a community meeting, and Barack stood up and talked about the world as it is and the world as it should be. When I heard that conversation, that for me, a light turned off within myself. And he said something very simple. He said, all too often we settle for the world as it is, because we think it's the best that we can do, even when it doesn't reflect our values and aspirations as a nation. We all have felt that. It won't change. We can't do anything any differently. This is the best we can do. We're blessed. Maybe we shouldn't ask for more. We've all said that at some point in time in our lives. But Barack reminded us on that day that we also know what the world should look like. We know in our hearts, as individuals living and breathing, we know what fairness and opportunity and justice looks like. And it's up to us to fight and work hard to close the gaps between the two ideas, to make the world as it is and the world as it should be one and the same. And I'm here because I know I've lived with this man for 20 years. And I say this all the time, he has not let me down once. He has spent his entire life trying to build the career based on that struggle to narrow the gaps. And wherever he has a chance, he uses his God-given talents to move that bar. That's what he did all those years ago, working in churches, helping families build better lives. And it's what he did when he turned down a big law firm to become a civil rights attorney all those years ago. And that's what he did as a state senator before entering the U.S. Senate. He was a champion of the law that amended the Illinois Human Rights Act in our state to prohibit discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity. Discrimination not just in the workplace, but in housing, in every public place within that state. And in 2004, in the middle of a very tight race for the U.S. Senate, a race that Barack Obama wasn't supposed to win. It's a familiar story in Barack's career. Barack went on record during that race of supporting a complete repeal of the Defense of Marriage Act. To protect our Constitution from the stain of discrimination by voting against the Federal Marriage Amendment. He also supported in his career full funding for the Ryan White Care Act and has pledged to implement a national HIV/AIDS strategy to combat the continuing epidemic right here in the United States. He's also spoken out against the stigma surrounding HIV testing, which is still plaguing so many of our communities, which you all know, a lot of that is due to homophobia. Barack has led by example. When we took our trip to Africa and visited his home country in Kenya, we took a public HIV test for the very point of showing folks in Kenya that there is nothing to be embarrassed about in getting tested. And we did it in a test. He also worked to expand health care, pass welfare reform, and he's worked to ensure that the brave men and women who serve this country, that they don't have to fight a new battle when they come back from service. That battle to get health care and to get to the front of the line and to get the services they need to live a full and healthy life, and that includes mental health care. Barack has been fighting for men and women Barack is running for president because he believes that if we work together and we come together, that we can build that world as it should be. We can do it. And he says that in the world as it should be, what does that look like? You know, in the world as it should be, we can work together to repeal laws like don't know, and don't ask, and don't tell. And we can oppose divisive constitutional amendments that would strip civil rights and benefits away from LGBT Americans, because discrimination has no place in a nation founded on the promise of equality.